Good morning students. In this video section, I would like to explain one of the animal kingdom phylum Echinodermata. What are the important characteristics and general characteristics? What are the classification of Echinodermata? We will discuss in this video. The phylum Echinodermata. As like previous phylums, this Echinodermata word of the phylum is a very significant word. Each and every phylum name is derived from or given by the based on their special characteristics of organism. So, here echinus means spines, derma means skin. When you seen that these Echinodermata organisms, outer side the body surface they are having the spines, they are having the spines, Echinodermata. Derma means skin, that skin is possessing with the echinus, spines. See, here these Echinodermata phylum is differ from the remaining invertebrate phyla. Here I am using the one word invertebrate. Invertebrate means which are organisms are not yet have notochord. Okay, vertebral column is absent. Such a organisms group we called as a invertebrate. Up to now, what we are covered in the previous phylums from the Porifera after Coelenterata, Coelenterata after Ctenophora after next Platyhelminthes next Aschelminthes or Nematoda after Annelida after Arthropoda after Mollusca. From the Porifera ki munnadi Protozoa also one of the phylum in the animal kingdom. So, from the Protozoa onwards up to these mollusca all are belongs to protostomes. I mean protostomes, why I said the protostomes mean here the blastopore. Just recall the previous first video regarding the animal kingdom. Animals are some of the animals protostomes are developed into either mouth or anal pore, correct na? If the blastopore developed into mouth, that is called protostome. If the blastopore developed into the anal pore, that is the deuterostomes. One day I shown on the board one classification, total animal classification. Okay, on that I explained on that video. See that video, you will get some clarity. Here I am saying about the Echinodermata characteristics. Why I recall these and all mean, these Echinodermata is differ from the previous phylums. How it will differ? These Echinodermata is one of the non-chordate invertebrate. Okay, it is the same characteristics from previous phylums, but this is the Echinodermata having the deuterostomic nature. What is the deuterostoma? Stoma means mouth, okay, or hole. Okay, first that blastopore developed into the anus. Which organisms in the embryonic developmental time the blastopore developed into the anus, that is called deuterostomes. That is called deuterostomic organism. Such a group we call the deuterostomic group. And then enterocoelomates. What is the meaning of enterocoelomate? Coelomate mean body cavity. That body cavity is origin from the archenteron. Which one? Archenteron. See, recall the previous videos concepts. Here eucoelomates are schizocoelomata. We discussed about the schizocoelomata, but we doesn't see in the enterocoelomata word. Explanation time I said, and the beginning videos time I said schizocoelomata, enterocoelomata both are eucoelomates. Schizocoelomata is formed from the 4D blastomeres. Here enterocoelomata is formed from the archenteron. Recall that. Here these enterocoelomates, only one and only enterocoelomates in the non-vertebrates or invertebrates. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಮುನ್ನಾಡಿ phylums schizocoelomates, some of the schizocoelomates, some of the acoelomates, some of the pseudocoelomate. Platyhelminthes is a Aschelminthes is a pseudocoelomate, Platyhelminthes is a acoelomates. So here totally that enterocoelometer tells about a true coelom, that true coelom formed from the archenteron onwards. That you should be remember, very important word. That what type of questions maybe will ask me, which is the non-invertebrates, which phylum in the invertebrate phylums or non-chordates exhibit the enterocoelomates, like that questions. And then now come with the second point, radial symmetry. Radial symmetry or pentamerous radius symmetry. Here Echinodermata ki munnadi phylums mollusca and arthropoda ki munnadi annelida ki munnadi Aschelminthis ki munnadi Platyhelminthes, all are bilateral symmetry. This one Echinodermata only showing the exhibiting the radial symmetry. Basically radial symmetry is a primitive character, okay, but Echinodermata is an advanced phylum comparing the previous phylums. But in this advanced phylum or in this Echinodermata, they are having the some of the primitive characteristics, that is a radial symmetry, or else some of the organisms are pentamerous radial. Pentamerous radial means some of the Echinoderms are in the form of the star forms. In the star observation time, 5 arms we can able to find. So based on the 5 arms, we can able to cut the 5 axis onwards, we can able to cut the organism. So based on the penta means chemistry, IUPAC nomenclature time we seen penta means 5. So 5 axis onwards, that to radius axis onwards we will cut it. So either radial symmetry or pentamerous symmetry exhibited the Echinodermata adult organisms. But next, here Echinodermata organisms will exhibit the bilateral symmetry. Sir, now only you said radial symmetry and pentamerous radial symmetry. Why you are saying now bilateral symmetry? Mean when the adult organisms are express the primitive characteristics. Primitive means radial or pentamerous radial symmetry. But when the Echinodermatas are in the larva stages, larval conditions, that larvas are exhibiting bilateral symmetry. So exhibiting of bilateral symmetry is a advanced nature comparing with the radial symmetry. So larva having the advanced character, adult ones are exhibiting the primitive characters, that you should be remember. Okay, then next one, skin is that I am telling about the Echinodermata skin or body. When you see in the Echinodermata's body from the external character, skin has a thick and then spiny, thin and thick and spiny. Okay, and then spiny means spines are there. Based on these spines only, we given the name Echinodermata. The body is possessing spines, so that's why Echinodermata. And skin is thick, very hardness. Okay, hard skin is exhibited by the Echinodermata. And then these spines are origin from the mesodermal. Okay, along with that spines, mesodermal endoskeleton also is there. Mesodermal endoskeleton also is there. That mesodermal endoskeleton is in the form of the calcareous ossicles. That origin from the calcareous ossicles are endoskeleton origin from the mesodermal origin. Then now come to the next point. Sometimes spines are modified into the special structures, pedicellarias. This word is a very important, pedicellarias. Okay, pedicellarias are formed from the modification from the spines. And then water vesicular system, very most important characteristics of Echinodermata. Here Echinodermata significant character is the body having the spines, and important character inside of the body, they are having the water vesicular system. Don't confuse the canal system and then water vesicular system with these two. Canal system we seen in porifera organisms. Water vesicular system present in Echinodermata. Okay, these water vesicular system also called as a umbilical system. See that pointer place, umbilical system. These water vesicular system or umbilical system derived from the body coelom. Which type of body coelom here? Enterocoelom. That some portion of enterocoelom developed into the water vesicular system. Water vesicular system is nothing but water drained into the some of the vessels, that is a water vesicular system. Okay, water pathway in the inside of the body of echinodermates. Okay, that nature we seen in the echinodermata. What is that important nature of the echinodermates? Water vesicular system or umbilical system. And then next, what is the use of these umbilical system? Here these umbilical system useful for capture of the food and locomotion wise and respiration. These and all three important functions controlling by these umbilical system. Now these umbilical system open into the one hole, one opening. That opening is called as a madrepodite. Madrepodite. In the board, what parts I underline or kept into the one box, those points are very significant words. Okay, that should be remembered. This madrepodite. Madrepodite, umbilical system open hole is called as a madrepodite. Okay, that is a special characteristic of the echinodermata. Then come with the next point. Then circulatory system. Circulatory system, it is also open type. I think so. Mollusca also open type. And then mollusca ki munnadi arthropoda also open type. So these and all having some common characteristics. Of course, some of the mollusca, cephalopoda is a closed type, we seen in the previous videos. And then heart and blood vesicular system is contained, but blood vessels are not at closed. Okay, not at closed. I mean, blood will be open into the body cavity, drained into the body cavity. That is a open circulatory system. We already known in the introduction classes. And then respiratory organs. Very most important thing. These respiratory organs characters here. Papillae. Some of the organisms are having the papillae, feather-like structures, or dermal branchiae. Dermal branchioles. Dermal branchioles. That dermal branchioles on presence on the skin. By these skin onwards, that gas will be exchanged. Gas will be exchanged. And then very most important characteristic of one type of organisms, sea cucumbers. This is one type of organisms in echinodermata. What is the important character here? Sea cucumbers are having the coxal respiratory tree. Coxal respiratory tree. A place, a small opening of the cloacal, that place having a tree-like substances play an important role in the respiration. That is a cloacal respiratory tree. Okay, so that is a respiratory organs in the different individuals. Then excretion. Next one, excretion. Here excretion wise there is no any specific excretory organs. Basically idikku munnade phylums Nephredias, Protonephredias or Metanephridias we seen in the Arthropoda and Mollusca organisms. But here Echinodermata is more developed than that organisms, that phylum, but here excretory organs are not at present. Okay, by the body surface onwards, by the process of the simple diffusion, excretion process will be completed or excretion process will be expressed. And then next nervous system. In the nervous system, these nervous system also as like excretory, because these excretory system or nervous system not yet well developed in the echinodermata. Okay, basically echinodermata is the last developed, I mean highly developed phylum in the invertebrate phylums. But even though echinodermata characteristics, some of the characteristics are undeveloped characteristics. Okay, see, nervous system poorly developed, that brain is absent. Idikku munnadi we seen mollusca. Mollusca also poorly developed nervous system, but that ganglionated nervous tissue is there. Adikku munnadi that Arthropoda and Annelida, they are having the nerve ring, double ventral nerve cord. So those and all somewhat of advanced character comparing with Echinodermata regarding to nervous. And then sense organs. Sense organs also same here, ditto I mentioned. Here that all the sense organs also poorly developed. So here what is the thing mean? In the advanced Echinodermata phylum are having some of the incomplete or undeveloped systems. Okay. Then next reproduction. In the reproduction, this organism is a dioecious. The male and female organisms are different, organs are present in the different individuals, but it is not yet shown anything sexual dimorphism. Sexual dimorphism is not yet exhibited. Okay. But here what is the thing mean? Sexual dimorphism mean male organism differ from the female organism by the phenotypically, but these and all not yet exhibited by these Echinodermata. And then next one, sexual reproduction. Reproduction, because of it somewhat of developed only now. So sexual reproduction it will show. Fertilization, external fertilization. When the external fertilization happens, automatically indirect development. See the second this one in development. What development they are exhibiting? Indirect development. Indirect development time several larva forms are there. That several larva forms it can able to swim. Okay, free swimming larva. Free swimming. That free swimming larva exhibit the bilateral symmetry. Bilateral symmetry. Here bilateral symmetry is the advanced character. But these larval stages of bilateral symmetry not yet continue in the adult one. In the adult, what larva is there? What nature is there? Radial symmetry or pentamerous. So in the larval stages they are having the advanced character of the bilateral symmetry, but here adult one having the pentamerous. Echinodermata organisms are having the very most important ability. What is that ability? Autotomy. Autotomy ability is already we seen in the previously one of the phylum organisms. In the Platyhelminthes, organisms, they can able to regenerate. That means when the Platyhelminthes organisms, one organism Planaria, if the body is the fragmented, automatically each and every fragment of the body part can able to regenerate the what part they lost. So like here also, unfortunately any accidentally that Echinodermata organisms are lost any body part, that body part can able to recover or reforming. That is autotomy, a power of regeneration of a lost body part. Okay, accident in the predator wise or any accidentally, if the body part is lost on these Echinodermata, what body part is lost, that lost part again it will be regenerate. That process autotomy. It is one of the good ability, great ability of the Echinodermata organisms. Up to now we discussed about some of the characteristics, some of the significant characteristics of the Echinodermata. Now we will enter in the classification of Echinodermata. See here in the classification of Echinodermata, very important in the NEET based questions. Here these Echinodermata phylum classified into the 5 important classes. One is Crinoidea, second one is Astroidea, third one Ophioidea, next fourth one Echinoidea, next Holothuroidea. So one more time, Crinoidea, Astroidea, Ophiotheroidea and Echinoidea and Holothuroidea. These are the 5 important classes. In these 5 important classes, they are having the common names, are based on their structure. These and all represented their some common names. Here Crinoidea organisms, Crinoidea phylum organisms are commonly called as sea lilies, because lily plant, how it is seems like a lily plant. And then here side of these lily word I mentioned AG opening. See AG shortcutly I mentioned lack of space. AG means umbilical groove. whether you remember or not, beginning of this chapter, umbilical system, water vesicular system we discussed. That water vesicular system nothing but one tube like structures are giving the path for water movement. So that umbilical path movement, it is open, that canals, water canals, if it is open, that is called umbilical groove system is open type. Now for understanding, I will tell one example here, one example, okay, imaginary example. Our drainage system in the cities or villages, whatever it is, some of the villages or some of the cities, drainage system is open type, or sometimes it is underground. Underground means closed, okay, that total vessels is going under the soil and then it is totally closed. Within the tube, the drainage water everything will go on. But open type anna, we can see in the drainage water how it will flow. So like seems like, for understanding here, umbilical grooves are open type. So in the water flowing we can able to find it, okay, and I mean internally that umbilical grooves are open type, okay. Then here that umbilical grooves open type, these crinoidea, larva name Pentacrinoidea. Pentacrinoidea. Here in the end, what I mentioned in the box, that and all larva names. Pentacrinoidea. And then here, very important character. Here Echinodermata having the spines, but these crinoidea organisms spines are not at there. Pedicellarias is also not at there, because of spines only modified into the pedicellariae. Spines absent, pedicellarias is also absent. And then madrepodite. Madrepodite means umbilical system is opening into the one hole, that is called madrepodite. So here totally spines, pedicellarias, madrepodite, LRT absent. All are absent condition. And then second one, asteroidea. Asteroidea, here we call it generally we call it asterias. Asterias, starfish. We generally call it starfish. Okay, in the starfish, umbilical groove. When you see in the AG means should be recall, remember umbilical grooves. That umbilical grooves also open type. Okay, open type. These asteria or asteroidea, larva name Bipinnaria. What it is? Bipinnaria. Second class of the Echinodermata, asteroidea. Asteroidea, starfishes, asterias, umbilical grooves are open type. Then the larva name is a Bipinnaria. Okay. Then come with a third class, Ophiroidea. These Ophiroidea organisms commonly we call the brittle stars. Brittle stars. These umbilical grooves are closed system. Okay, that means gradually these Echinodermata classes are showing the development nature, because of these two or umbilical systems are open, but here umbilical groove system is umbilical grooves are closed time. Now Ophiroidea larva name Ophiofluteus. Ophiofluteus. Okay, then fourth larva name Echinoidea. Here Echinoidea organisms normally we called sea urchins and sand dollars. Sand dollars. Okay, commonly we call sea urchins and sand dollars. These Echinoidea organisms also exhibit these AG and umbilical grooves are closed condition. These Echinoidea class larva name Echinofluteus. This one Ophiofluteus, this one Echinofluteus. Here regarding to the Echinoidea, note one important character. Arms are also absent. Arms are absent. Especially Echinoidea organisms are having a mastigatory organ. A mastigatory organ in their madrepodite place. That is Aristotle Lanther. Aristotle Lanther. Here in capital letters I mentioned Aristotle Lanther. Here that Aristotle learnt only special characteristics of the echinoidea. In the echinodermates, Aristotle learnt masticatory organ only possessing in the echinoidea class. That is an important question in the NEET. Then next Holothuriidea. Next fifth phylum, fifth class Holothuriidea. These Holothuriidea normally we call as a sea cucumbers. Somewhere we heard these in the beginning of the characteristics explanation time. Sea cucumbers we discussed, we heard it that sea cucumbers basically elongated nature. When you coming to the echinodermata organisms are dorsoventrally suppressed. Nothing but starfish structure theriyum kada. In the starfish dorsoventrally suppressed, but these sea cucumbers are body is elongated, nothing but line madri, longitudinal axis of madri. So these sea cucumbers are Holothuriidea organisms, larva name Auricularia. Auricularia. Here these Holothuriidea organisms also arms, spines, pedicellarias are absent. Okay, but here note, important note, Holothuriidea organisms or sea cucumbers are having the one important respiratory organs, that is cloacal respiratory tree. Cloacal respiratory tree. So here the very most important thing, these class name and these larva names you should be remember. Some of the statement based questions they will ask. So classification of echinodermata one more time: Cranoidea, Asteroidea, Ophioidea, Echinoidea and Holothuriidea. Larva names of these Cranoidea, Pentacranoidea, and then Asteroidea larva name Bipinnaria, and Ophiothuriidea larva name Ophiofluteus, and Echinoidea larva name Echinofluteus, and Holothuriidea name Auricularia. These are the larva names. What are the important character of that? Umbilical grooves are open type, closed type, except first two, Cranoidea, Asteroidea, umbilical grooves are open type, remaining all are umbilical grooves are closed type. Okay, this is this video give the proper information to the all the Echinoidea characteristics. Okay, and then these Echinodermata classification.